Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Oh shit, I just realized something. I shaved. That's right, it's been a while since I have shaved my face, and now you get to see me in all my natural glory, zero hair, except what's on my head. Hopefully that stays on forever. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's another handsome review with your handsome host. It is I, Jamian Surita, and today we're going to talk about episode 6 of She-Hulk. So please stay tuned. So today we're going to talk about She-Hulk episode 6. I want to start with the A storyline, the B storyline, and then I have 2 notes about the episode. So, you know, the A storyline is about She-Hulk going to her family friend's wedding, basically. Even though they went to high school together, you know, like the whole cliquey thing about going to a wedding of a family friend or whatever, but it turns out, you know, they're not very close. So they start out with that. And you know what? When they began that episode and she literally broke the 4th wall, and she was like, yes, it is a separate, alone wedding episode. Guess what? They knew what they were doing with that last episode. They couldn't have said like, oh, that was an edit and we didn't know in what order everything was going to come out, because she literally trolled us in the first coming minutes and basically saying there's no Daredevil in this episode. We've all been anxiously waiting every single episode so we can see Daredevil, Matt Murdock, aka Charlie Cox, the actor, come back into what's now the MCU. Before he was in the Netflix Marvel universe and the MNU, Marvel Netflix universe. But now he's going to be part of the MCU, which is what we all want. And so, you know, as soon as they settled that, I was like, okay, fine, I'll watch whatever you guys got. And it turns out it's a fun episode. I really liked it. And I believe the episode is titled Just Jen. And, you know, she was basically prohibited from being She-Hulk, which I think is a strength because, to be honest with you guys, sometimes I don't like the CGI of She-Hulk. It's kind of weird. You know, it takes me out of the story. It takes me out of whatever's going on because her expressions aren't very normal. So I didn't really like that. I got used to it, but I'm glad we got to see more of the actress because I think Tatiana Maslany is a very good actress. She's very cool. I would definitely have a beer with her at some point. That's kind of how I rank the superheroes, just as in terms of relatability, because at the end of the day, that's the reason why we watch these characters, because we learn to care and we learn to kind of, you know, see them as a new friend. And then there was the B storyline, which was about Mallory. She's the new lawyer, like the new lawyer character that was introduced in the last episode. And she's very good. And she was working with Nikki, which is usually, you know, She-Hulk's sidekick. It's really what she is. And in this episode, they were dealing with the guy who calls himself Mr. Immortal. Basically, he kills himself so he can get out of all his, maybe his issues, or he owes money or any wedding or divorce type of thing. So, you know, he's afraid of confrontation, and they finally caught up with him. So everyone, all these women from his past lives basically came, and they were trying to get some sort of settlement to end the story that he did not fully end by actually not dying. So, you know, I really liked the character. I thought it was kind of funny. It's like this guy who literally fakes his death. But because he has superpowers, he literally kills himself and just restarts, basically. I'm starting to question something. Where are all these people with superpowers coming from? I mean, I know that we had a character from the Thor world, which I get. You know, they're from a different dimension and all that stuff. It makes sense. So you will get like a mix of like regular humans with all these other human-looking creatures that have powers compared to us. You know, I understand that. But there's like more characters coming out with powers. You know, there's definitely an interest with trying to recreate more Hulks. And that's why She-Hulk was basically jumped 2 episodes ago. You know, so they're really setting up that storyline that there's going to be a whole bunch of more Hulks in the MCU. So I'm excited for that. You know, I just kind of find it kind of weird how like all of a sudden we're getting all these superhero characters. Not really superheroes, but super powered beings, I would say. And, you know, they're not really doing the traditional way that they do in the Marvel comics, which is either through the X-Gene and the X-Men or the Terrigen Mist on like in the Inhuman comic books and stuff. So none of that's happening right now. So where are these people coming from? I'm guessing just traveling through these different portals now that basically Earth has been found since the first Avengers, right? So, you know, it definitely shows how the world has changed and everything. So that's basically my thoughts on the episode. I really did like the fight between Titania and She-Hulk. I thought it was funny and it was cool, and Titania is a very annoying person. And she clearly, very obviously, came into the wedding because she was trying to jump She-Hulk. And then she tried to, especially once She-Hulk was drunk. But she came back and she just like knocked her out. So, you know, it's fun to kind of focus more on the character, I would say, than just the superpowers. especially because the episode was called Just Jen. And you know, that's what happens when you have like a dual personality. I'm not talking about like someone who's bipolar or anything, but more specifically for someone who might have a secret identity or a secret life. You know, at points it feels like their one life consumes the other, and that's essentially what Jen Walters has to deal with. It's the fact that she's She-Hulk, and that everybody knows, and in one way or another, they have said that She-Hulk is better than Jen, and you know, Jen is who she actually is. She-Hulk feels more like a shell, and I think that's why they never really gave She-Hulk a separate personality, because they wanted you to kind of see how this woman character does that. You know, I don't mean in a weird way, but more like in the sense of like what women go through when they have like these double personalities and they have to hide who they are because they want to fit in a certain way and a certain look. So I did really like the episode. I thought it was fun. I will say everybody saw that Daredevil's not in the episode. And I also saw it was trending online, like on Instagram and Twitter, and everyone's like, no Daredevil, no Daredevil. And like basically everyone felt like tricked. Because the truth is that they shouldn't really be doing that stuff because it takes away from the main attraction, who is She-Hulk. You know, Daredevil will get his own show, but She-Hulk is just getting this show, and who knows if we'll get a season 2 if nobody watches it, or if everybody watches it just because Daredevil's going to be in it. You know, they need time to make She-Hulk shine on her own and not have to rely on other characters, because that's why those other characters eventually will get their own stuff. Like, you know, Wong is becoming very popular in those last episodes and in general with his Doctor Strange and Spider-Man appearance. I could see him getting a Disney Plus show, and I would watch it too. Benedict Wong is a great actor, you know? So if you ever need another show to make, Wong's your guy. And let me see. That's about it. That's all I really have to say on the episode. I did enjoy it. I am very much looking forward to what's happening next. Also, they did mention that there is a group who's after She-Hulk. And I think that's supposed to be the tease for the future Hulks, that they're trying to figure out how to take her power and then just duplicate it to, I guess, create super soldiers. You know, like the typical stuff that they do in the superhero stuff. But yeah, I would like to see that. I want to see what the other Hulks could look like. That'd be something cool and interesting, because Hulk hasn't really gotten time to shine since basically 2008. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, to write in the comment section below. Did you feel tricked just because you saw Daredevil's helmet in the last episode and this has nothing to do with Daredevil? Do you think that Daredevil will be appearing at some point in this series, or it was all just a trick to get people to watch? Let me know in the comment section below, and let me know what you thought of the episode in general. I'm very interested, and just because the video ends doesn't mean our conversation has to end right here. Thank you for watching, guys. Subscribe, like, comment, and I will see you next week.